I'm Josh Heupel, former Oklahoma quarterback, and I watch Native News Today.
Osio, Stongo, Yatahe, all of the above. Welcome to the Native News Today.
Oh,
Jason Salzman,
yeah.
Gerald Wofford.
You left out a.
And
Sorry.
that's got to be a hello in some tribal language out there, I'm sure.
Sure,
So
exactly.
We say A to you this afternoon here. You know, we got, as always, we got a lot of great stories lined up here for the Native News Today this afternoon.
Got some great ones coming up. We were at OU Media Day last week and able to mingle with some of the Sooners, getting ready for the 2007 season, and always an exciting time here in Oklahoma around the college football world and stuff like that. So it's wonderful to go meet them. And plus, we were able to visit with Derek Shaw, Osage and Ponca Indian. He is the deep snapper for the Sooners and plays an integral role in their success in the special teams games. So able to visit with Derek and some other Indian players as well. But always fun to go down to Norman, too. We got to check out the Jacobson house.
Well, you know, for us, you know, it's alumni. We're going home in a way. So
Mama, I'm coming home.
That's fun.
The words of Ozzy Osbourne.
Right. And while we're in Norman, we kind of went to the other side of the gambit, if you will, covering some Native American art. We visited the Jacobson House. Russ Tallchief there, the curator, showing us some of a lot of great Native American art they have.
Yeah, and Russ is pretty much a powder keg of information there on Indian art. You know, he told us about the whole thing, about the whole history of the Jacobson House and how it started with the Kiowa Five, and we'll learn a little bit more about that as the episode rolls along. And not only do we have that, but we have, you talking about Indian culture, you talking about Indian artifacts with the art and things like that. You can't skip out on Indian food. And Indian fry bread is a staple. We got the world champion fry bread cooker with us this week, Debbie Ridge, and she cooked the largest fry bread, I guess, in the world.
Yeah, holds the title for that record. So
Wow.
she's going to explain that. Also, some very unique creations she's also done with fry bread. So you want to stay tuned for that as well.
6 degrees of fry bread.
And there was another OU player that we may have interviewed too. We may show that too if time allots. Another OU Indian player. You want to stick around for that.
Yeah, definitely. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Native News Today for this week.
We know why you play. Creek Nation Casino. Every Tuesday, play for $10,000 cash, a Hummer H3, and a key that could open a new home in South Tulsa. Plus, we're giving away 14 extra keys on the night we're giving away the American Dream Home, July 25th. Creek Nation Casino.
We've been looking for all the great Native American OU football players here. I got one right here, just came out of practicing here, Chuji Yahola. Man, Chuji, how's it been today, practice and everything?
Oh, dang, it's hot out here, man. I went over there a while ago and saw some of them people over there, and now I'm just ready to go.
Well, I've seen that you've been running the steps here and everything, here on the football field and everything, and you're ready for the season and everything then, huh?
Yeah, somebody told me there was some Chattahooga and some fry bread and stuff up in the press box, so I thought I might be able to go get some of that. I'm tired of all this Gatorade. Somebody needs to get some sour softy down here or something like that.
But when you went up to the press box, you found out they were really pressing the fry bread down, weren't they?
Yeah, they were trying to. That dough rises sometimes. You know, you got to get a hold of it, put it in the grease, get it to flatten down. So, dang, it's hot out here.
Now, there's been some construction going on, as we see around here in the football stadium. Are they building a casino or what?
Oh, I don't know. If they are, it's gonna have to be something revolving around a river. I don't think people can put a casino up in this state without naming it about a river or something. So I don't know. I don't see no rivers around here.
Now,
Doesn't really matter.
Now, Chudgy, you truly are one of the unique Native American rags to riches stories in that they recruited you from one of the smallest schools in Oklahoma. Tell us where that school is from and how they actually found you to recruit you to OU.
Oh, you dang right. I was playing down at Chilocco, and I don't know. I got mad one time and ripped somebody's head off out on the field, and they said they liked my intensity.
Now, you did play some football at Horseshoe Bend, too, right?
Horseshoe Bend, I spent a little time there. They kicked me out, though, because I don't want to go into it, but they kicked me out of there. And then I went down to Eufaula boarding school, spent some time down there, but couldn't really make it.
Now, the position you're playing here is tight end, is that right?
Gerald, I don't really want to be associated with the tight end, anything like that. So I'll just say that I'm out on the field.
You play the field then?
I play the field. I consider my options there.
Okay. Redhead, blonde, doesn't matter.
Sure, whatever I can get.
Well, we're talking with Chudgy Yahola here. Chudgy, man, I know it's going to be a great season and everything and nothing but the best. You got any last words just to say to the Indian kids out there looking to, try to get an OU or something? What do we say to them?
Mado.
Jason, looks like Chudgy Yahola is ready for the football season.
He's definitely ready. And I just want to clear the air right now, and a lot of rumors swirling around. There seems to be some kind of resemblance between me and him. I just want to say I'm not him. I'm not related to him or anything like that. And I don't want his comments, his opinionated comments,
To be misconstrued.
to be misconstrued and attributed to me. So I just want to say that's the opinions of Chudgy Yahola are just that. His opinions, not
Not
ours.
necessarily native news
Not
today.
ours. But we were glad to be there also and talk to the man in the middle, Derek Shaw, the deep snapper. He makes it happen on special teams. They couldn't even get it started without him snapping the ball.
That's right.
Okay, as we promised right here on the Native News today, we were going to get one of the Native American players that plays for the 2007 University of Oklahoma Sooners football team. I'm talking none other than Mr. Derek Shaw. Derek, we appreciate your time this morning, and as we know, media day is going on and everything, but you're getting ready for an all-new season and everything. How's it been going so far?
That's been going good. We had worked hard all this summer, and we just started camp yesterday, so we're looking forward to having a pretty good camp and getting ready for this upcoming season. I think we're going to have a pretty good team. So
Now, your position is a deep snapper for the team and everything. How would you say so far your practice has been in getting ready for this season as opposed to last year?
last year I didn't know what to expect. I was just kind of, just running around following people, and I feel like this year I can, kind of help lead some of the guys, some of the newer guys coming in, and help them, show them the ropes, and just kind of make an example for them.
Now, your responsibility as deep snapper is to hike for the extra points, field goals, and punt as well?
Right, yeah, I do both.
Okay. Now, folks, I want you to keep in mind, too, just how, it's a routine situation, and when fans are watching the game, they're thinking, well, the field goal kicker, I hope that he's able to kick it right. I hope the holder is able to hold it right, or the punter is able to punt it right. But it all starts there with the long snapper, with you, and not to put any extra pressure on you or anything like that, because I know you've been through that this past year. Tell me the most nervous game, if you will, last year for you when you first had to go out there and to perform your duty out there.
Well, I'd have to say definitely the first game against UAB. We're running out here on the field. I've been to these games as a kid and watched the guys and stuff, and just never ever thought that I'd be able to step on the field and actually play. And coming out here and being able to do that was just, it was that plus, actually having to do something out on the field is a little nerve-wracking. But after that first game, I was good.
Now, that Oregon game, though, that had to be a little bit of because you were there on a different field. It came down to the game winner, so to speak. I mean, what was going through your mind then? Was it just you were just so used to it, it was routine by then, or what?
Yeah, by then I'd get accustomed to it, and that stadium is by far one of the loudest stadiums in the country, I think. So, besides that, I was pretty much accustomed to blocking all that out and focus on what I needed to do, and the blocks I had to make and stuff like that.
So when the Cotton Bowl rolled around, Texas week and game day, just didn't even phase you by then, huh?
No, not really. It's just it was just something special to me to even be there. But by that time, snapping had come pretty easy to me, so I wasn't really nervous.
Now, Derek, I know you're here for football and everything, but also to get an education and everything. Tell us about what you're majoring in and everything.
Majoring in criminology, and hopefully when I get out, I'm gonna becoming a police officer, hopefully in somewhere around Tulsa County, because I grew up there and stuff, so I know the city and know the surrounding areas and stuff. So hopefully that's my plan.
And we have to proudly say your tribal affiliation is?
Osage, Ponca, and Potawatomi.
All right, folks, this year when you're watching OU and you're watching special teams go out there, field goal, punt, everything extra point, be looking for this number 52 right here who's going to be hiking the ball and everything. That's Mr. Derek Shaw. We appreciate your time, sir, and best of luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
A lot of things happening in Norman, Oklahoma there, football-wise, have we seen, but also on the other side of the spectrum, if you will, on the art side. The Jacobson House there on the campus of the University of Oklahoma houses some great Native American art.
Yeah, and I gotta admit, I know better than anybody about how far on the other end of the spectrum it is, because I can tell you every one of OU's Heisman Trophy winners in history, in their football history, but I couldn't tell you one of the paintings artists in the Jacobson House.
Starting five for the Kiowa Five.
The Kiowa Five, yeah. But thanks to this thing coming up, going to these places and talking to these people, I get a little more acclimated to that side of things and learn about it more. And never actually got to go to the Jacobson House while I was there at OU, but it was fun to visit it this time around and talk to Russ Tallchief about the importance of that spot and how much it means to the campus and how much it means to Indians in general.
The Jacobson House is actually a house that was built in 1915 and was built by Oscar Jacobson. He started the art department at OU in 1915, and so the gallery is located in his former residence. So he lived here throughout the teens and the 20s as he grew the art department at OU, and then later established the Museum of Art that became the Fred Jones Jr. Museum. And so the Jacobson House has literally been just a residence for most of the 20th century, but as we got into the 80s, actually OU was going to tear it down because they always have a parking problem on campus, and so the community rallied and established the Jacobson House as a cultural center. And so we've been working as a cultural center, showing particularly Native art since 1986 when it was incorporated as a nonprofit. And the reason that it's a Native art center is because Oscar Jacobson had a keen interest in Native art. He was a Swedish immigrant and came through Yale and then Bethany College in Kansas and came to Oklahoma specifically to work with Native artists. And at that time in the 20s, there really wasn't even such a thing as Native art. It was more the hide painting that you see. It was more like ledger art. At that time, it was the only true, what you would consider like an aesthetic as an art form in Native America. So Oscar Jacobson invited Kiowa artists to come to this house specifically to paint. He also had them painting at OU. They were enrolled in classes, and the 5 artists that he brought here became known as the Kiowa Five, and they were the first. And they really represent the genesis of contemporary Native art. When Jacobson took these 5 artists to Prague in 1928, he took them to an international folk art festival and introduced Native art to the international art community as a fine art, because at that time there was really, in a sense, no Native aesthetic known to the world at the time. And so when Jacobson brought these 5 artists to Prague, he introduced Native art to a community that didn't even accept Native art as art. And as you know, a lot of Native languages don't even have a word for art, so it's not even really something that's inherent to Native cultures. It's something that is just a part of Native culture, but moving it onto the canvas bridged that gap for Native artists to actually become known as artists rather than just the estheticians, really, of their communities. Because there were tattoos, there were the hide paintings, there was beadwork, there was quilt work, there was all this quote-unquote art in Native cultures all along. But it was just an inherent part of an individual expression, a tribal expression, an expression of clan symbols, cosmology, and just all the history that you can see even in a winter count. That now we can look at as art. And so this really represents that movement to more of a fine art aesthetic, moving the native aesthetic onto canvas and onto paper in a two-dimensional form. And that's what has continued throughout the 20th century and now into the 21st century, is the University of Oklahoma's cultivation of native art. And so the artists that have come out of here are referencing the Kiowa Five in everything that they do. Not specifically in the art itself, but in the continuation of that tradition. A.C. Blue Eagle came out of this program and went on to head Bacone College's art department. The same with Woody Crumbo. He came through Jacobson's program and then later on headed up Bacone College's program as well. Dick West was another student here at OU, and all these guys studied with Oscar Jacobson. And Jacobson was really diligent about leaving the artists' voices intact and letting them create their own aesthetic. So when you look at the Kiowa Five work, you don't see any background, you don't see any sort of context. It's a straight expression of cultural memory onto the canvas. And Jacobson was really great. I respect him a lot for doing that, because it would have been very easy to impose Western theory and practice onto this kind of an aesthetic. And later on you see Indian artists who went through different programs and then became educated in Western theory and started to develop backgrounds. But Archie Blackow, these artists that came through the program through the 70s as well, were starting to do backgrounds, but more in an original sort of an expression, not a true realism in a sense, but more of a geometrical kind of expressionistic sort of a context. So they each in their own way, the native artists that came through OU's program, came through this house, came out with a unique voice in their work. So this picture was taken in 1930 when Jacobson and the Kiowa Five got back from Prague. They'd been traveling around Europe and had done some shows throughout the States as well. And so when these guys took this picture in the backyard in front of the garage that's still there, these guys were international celebrities. They went over to Prague as 5 Indian guys from Anadarko, and they came back really the symbols of American Indian art for the entire international art community.
All right, let's take a break here. You are watching the Native News Today.
Smali, tasa ko chusi nili ang ginaistun sanga.
Pangana riibe hayat kaus.
Nagi, kada magas.
Pangana hayat kiruang noge.
Fanny molo jo subananga.
Tu morsati.
Hitla hani subani doang.
Wat, hiji mokhetsari chin hisakto das tumidanga.
Mahisi mokka jadi wekki diga, hisagida dan hiliga, ampane hayat kiruang.
Hilimani, matse.
The Muskogee Creek Nation Tobacco Prevention Program offers all cessation classes to young and old. For more information about a healthier life and a second wind, contact one of these centers nearest you.
Hijida, Hilishwa Fatsa, Sianate the Dos, Moes.
Well, hisi mokkeskera mokke zaknoar stinokesis, still easy dois.
Hello, my name is Eveline Tatras, manager of the Muskogee Creek Nation Elderly Housing. Here at the Muskogee Creek Nation, we recognize our elders as being a major influence on our culture. That's why we take care of them with fully equipped homes and daily nutrition and a sense of security. At Muskogee Creek Nation, taking care of our past means we also take care of our future.
As you've seen in past shows of the Native News Today, we are always looking for the perfect fry bread. And as this man here alludes next to me, he's done a lot of soul searching and questing for that perfect fry bread. One of the places that it led us to this past weekend was Okmulgee, Oklahoma. Debbie Ridge holds the title of world's largest fry bread.
Now, Gerald, I don't know if, perfect equates to biggest. In some circles it might, but
Well, there is some distinction to that, but Debbie holds the title of largest, and she's also been very creative with the fry bread and using it with other materials and everything.
That's great, and she's a Renaissance woman with that stuff.
She is a Renaissance woman, does a lot of things with that golden piece of bread.
Yes.
All right, fry bread is known the world around in Indian country, and I'm talking with one of the champions of Indian fry bread. I tell you what, that's a holy shrine in Indian country here, and the reason I'm saying that this lady here is a champion, talking with Debbie Ridge. Last year at the 2006 Native Fall Music Fest, she won the title of world's largest fry bread winner. Now, Debbie, you got to be proud of that title.
Yeah, it was fun. And we had a lot of people turn up that day.
Well, tell us exactly what world's largest fry bread. I mean, is that exactly what it's saying? I mean, what all is involved with winning that title?
You make the biggest fry bread, and it's got the texture and the looks and the weight, and mine was the biggest.
How long you been making fry bread?
Probably since I was about 12 years old. I came from a big family, so I had to learn how to cook.
Who was your mentor to help you reach this championship you won?
My best friend, Luann Bear, she helped me set up my stand and got me encouraged to run for this. And plus, I won during that festival. I won the Diva contest too.
The Diva contest. You got to tell us what that means.
I'll let Luann tell you that one.
Okay. Well, we're gonna get Luann right in here too. Okay. She's trying to be shy here. Where is she at? Okay. Luann Bear right here. You had the distinction of winning the Diva Award, okay? Well, tell us what that is exactly.
Well, we put up a booth and we decorated it. We had to think of a theme, so we thought about the queen, fit for a queen for the fry bread. So we made her a crown and a sash, and we decorated a booth. We had a lot of fake jewelry on, and we got it all set up. So it looked really good.
We won the fry bread contest here at Creek
Yeah,
Nation.
and yeah, she has won the contest before here at Creek Nation. So we go everywhere just making fry bread. Everybody knows Debbie Ridge with her fry bread.
Now, let's all sneak in here. We'll get a 3-shot here. Now, but I have to ask each of you here, okay? I'm going to ask you first, Debbie, then you, Luann, okay? You can't give me the same answer here, okay? So I'm going to ask you both the same question, though, here. But what goes into making the perfect fry bread?
A lot of love. A lot of love and some music.
I love it. What kind of music?
R&B, hip hop.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Luann, your answer?
I'm not the fry bread maker, I'm the fry bread turner. So everywhere we go and we volunteer a lot and help people, I'm with Debbie. I have to turn the fry bread. She's the maker.
And I'm fixing to teach Luann how to make them, but she's trying to learn this weekend. I said, this ain't the time.
Now, we're still here with Debbie as she's making up all the goodies here. But there's a special, a unique addition to the menu here, an Indian dog. Debbie, you got to tell us the creation of the Indian dog. Were you the one that created that?
No, I just wanted to make something different, so I make a smoked sausage with fry bread around it, and we call it the Indian dog, so we just made it up. And it was a lot easier to make than some of the Indian food that we would have besides salt meat.
Well, that's really kind of neat, kind of unique there as we see the grease pop off the pork chops there. But I think people got to love it, though, right?
Yeah, they do. They really come and ask for it because it's like a Polish sausage or even a hot link. I'll make either one. So it sells pretty good, too, and especially on a day like today. You get a fry bread and a hot dog.
Well, there you go. Native American ingenuity, folks, at its best. This is what the people thought about the fry bread here, okay? Take a bite. What do you think?
All right, Jason, as we see there, as you mentioned, Debbie Ridge is a true Renaissance woman, finding a lot of creative ways to do with the Indian fry bread.
Yes, and fry bread's one of those things where it's kind of like, I don't know, you can do anything to it and it really won't mess it up. You know, it's going to be good no matter what.
Like the proverbial slinky, you can just about do anything with it and have a good time.
Yeah. I've never.
We are creating a booklet, 101 Ways to Enjoy Your Fry Bread.
Or your slinky.
Or your slinky, that's right. But we say fry bread here because, hey, you know, it's golden brown and it's good, right?
Yes, it's wonderful. It's like its own food group.
Jason, what's one of the fun ways you like to enjoy your fry bread?
If I don't get it plain, of course the Indian taco, but sometimes, you know, you put a little honey on it. Make it like a sopapilla or something like that.
The honey helps, doesn't it?
Yes, the honey helps, yes.
Makes the rough edge is not as, it makes it smoother.
Yeah, it smooths it down a little bit. You know, it doesn't make it quite as, you know, what should I say, as rough terrain to put onto the roof of your mouth there. You know, that can be rough sometimes, so you got to watch out for that.
That was all free. Honey, Fry Bread 101 right there.
Yes.
You know, ways to enjoy your fry bread. But we will create that booklet and give that out, you know, someday, and you can enjoy it anytime.
Yeah, we'll ask our graphic design department to help us out, so we ought to have that book out to you guys in about 3 or 4 years.
Sometimes you can even smoke a cigarette after you eat a fry bread.
Yeah,
you know?
that'd be something. That'd be something cool. Yeah,
just kind of relax.
Absolutely.
You know,
Why not? Why not?
Well, hey, we know there's a lot of people out there saying, "Well, my fry bread, it's good too. You ain't show nothing on it." Well, hey, we want to find out about it. Contact us here, right?
Yeah, come up to the studios. We're right here in Altmulgee at the Creek Nation.
Show us your fry bread.
Come on by. Yeah, show us your fry bread. In fact, we got to get some T-shirts made up to say that. Show us your fry bread.
That's
so,
right.
No, but we're right here at the Creek Nation, the Capitol Complex. If you want to come on by the studio, just ask them, hey, where's those communications guys? Where's the Native News Today studios at? And they'll be able to tell you where the communications
and they'll
building
point you
is.
to a blue wall.
If you ask for Native News Today, they'll scratch their head.
That's right. So you have to say Creek Nation Communication. Where's Jason Gerald?
There you go. There you go. Ask the director.
See, it's Jason, Josh, Jared, and Gerald. 3 J's and a G. That's what you.
Easy enough to remember. And we had a lot of fun this week. You know, we got to go to OU to the media day, recreate some of those old memories being on campus and everything like that. So I know I raised a little heck when I was there, and I know you did too. So.
That's right.
Scene of the crime.
We'll allude more into that on future shows here, but we're going to say so long again. Thank you for joining us. For our producer, Jared Moore, Josh Lane, Jason Salzman, and Gerald Wofford. Meantime, take care. God bless. We'll talk to you soon.